Congress allocated the State Department $120 million to counter foreign efforts to interfere in American politics. The department has spent none of that money. That's according to the New York Times. Before meeting with foreign ministers from the 3 Baltic states that were once forced to be part of the Soviet Union, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson acknowledged his department must better address Russia's disinformation campaign.
We have more to do.
A 2016 law assigned the department's Global Engagement Center the responsibility of coordinating the federal government's response to foreign propaganda and election interference. It only last week secured $40 million of that dedicated funding.
Bureaucracies can be really slow, especially when they're understaffed, like the State Department is, like the DOD is, in actually moving things along, even if they have been legally mandated by Congress.
Now that it has that $40 million, a senior State Department official says the Global Engagement Center is already assigning that money to projects and has, in the meantime, used other funding to counter misinformation. Senator Bob Menendez, the top Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, says the Global Engagement Center, quote, needs to play catch-up quickly and should immediately put these funds to use for activities that can blunt the effects of Russian government disinformation. The Times also reports none of the Global Engagement Center's 23 analysts speak Russian. A senior State Department official counters that the acting coordinator and the deputy coordinator speak Russian, and the chief of staff is an expert on Russia, among others. Another source familiar with the center's staff says it does employ Russian speakers. Even if the center becomes fully operational,
we don't have a national response strategy. And what this kind of threat takes is really a whole of society approach.
Nearly a year and a half since the 2016 presidential election, intelligence officials say the United States is still vulnerable to Russian and political interference. And the voting has already started. Tomorrow, Texas holds its midterm primaries. Shannon?
Live at the State Department, Rich Edson. Thank you, Rich.